Jarrett Reed, part of Pro Pels Talk, Boot Crew Media, good enough to join us a little bit for right now. Talk about tonight's game against the first place Clippers and the trade deadline, which is about 24 hours away. Jarrett, we appreciate it, man. How are you?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
Doing awesome, man. Hey, let's go big picture. We'll talk about tonight, and then we'll talk about the trade deadline as well. The Clips are in first place. These two teams have played twice this year. They split, obviously winning on each other's home floor. Remind us about the first two matchups and some of the storylines and how those went.
I mean, you got to think about it. This Clippers team got together. They're dealing with Russell Westbrook coming over. You have PG, Krewe. Those first instances, those first two games, you have to say, they're going to be different from what you'll see tonight. This is a totally different team. You're going to split. You had Zion and Brandon have really good games, but then you also had a game where PG and Kawhi kind of took over as well. So that team you saw then that you got to win against won't be that team now. This is a totally different team. Adding James Harden to the mix, his ability to pick and roll, him and Zubac, their ability to get out in transition with the second unit, Russell Westbrook coming off the bench. I think this would be a welcome task that Willie Green wants to see tonight.
Clips are in first place. This is 1 out of 82, but does this one take on any added significance?
Yeah, you haven't. I mean, even in January, this team hadn't beat a team over 500 in a while, right? So this would be the perfect opportunity to do so. I mean, January, those Friday night games, the loss against Denver, the loss against Phoenix, those are tough losses against really good teams. If you're going to tell me that this is a perennial team that can get to the Western Conference Finals, they need to be able to beat teams that are really good, and they just haven't been able to do so.
It's funny, just before you came on, we were at the Sports Center break at the top of the hour, and Windhorst was on the national update and said he thinks that the Clippers will hold on to the 1 seed and will be the top seed in the Western Conference in their final year there at Crypto.com Arena. They're also one of the best scoring teams in the NBA right now. How do the Pelicans defensively try to slow the Clippers down tonight?
The Pelicans are really good defensively. So first things first is guarding the ball, guarding your yard, as a lot of the coaches will tell you, keeping everybody in front of you, which is very difficult because the Clippers play a lot of ISO ball. They're heavy pick and rolls. So they put a lot of pressure on your low man, which will, lead to corner threes. Now, again, the Pelicans are a really good defensive three-point team. So if they can get out and contest and you can rebound, not allowing this team to get second chance shots, you can't do it. They're really smart. They're older, but that with basketball it kind of works, right? Because the older teams are usually the smarter teams. So if you can alleviate that pressure from yourself and not make mistakes, I think you have a chance to win.
Do you see a spot? I mean, you mentioned a lot of the star power, right? Kawhi, Paul George, Harden coming over. Do you see a spot on the floor, Russ, where the Pels have an advantage tonight?
To be honest, I think it's the second unit. I think that's the place where the Pelicans have to be good. Although your stars need to show up, Brandon, CJ, BI, they need to, and Zion, they need to show up tonight. But if your second unit, Trey Murphy, can get back on track, if Jordan Hawkins can get minutes, if Dyson Daniels can play really good defense and lead to transition buckets, Najee Marshall, Larry Nance, if the second unit can be good, I think you give yourselves a better chance of winning, because that spot for the Clippers is a little shaky at times.
Jarrett Reed's our guest, Pro Pels Talk, part of Boot Crew Media. As a matter of fact, the guys go live as soon as the game ends, so you can catch them on their YouTube channel. Make sure you're subscribed up if you're not. Wait, what are you laughing about?
Because they're really quick about it, man. Like, I'm usually still at the games watching, and I'll get an alert like, hey, we're going live. I'm like, I can't make this. So, yeah, it's
I'm going
cool.
into a press conference, man. What do you expect me to do right now? But I would recommend go subscribe up on their YouTube channel, Pro Pels Talk. As soon as the game ends, they go live. So fire it up if you want some post-game immediate reaction. Great spot to get it. Give me we'll talk about trade deadline here in a second. Give me a key for tonight. If the Pels do go on the road, pull off the upset, what do you think the key is? How does it look?
They need to knock down threes and timely threes, right? If this game goes late, right, like where it's back and forth and it's a tie ball game, I will say the advantage lies with the Clippers. But if the Pelicans can, keep a lead from 10 to 15 and keep them at bay almost like a boxer with their jab, you kind of like the odds there because you don't want it close. The Pelicans aren't good at closing games and just haven't been, right? So to keep this team at bay, if you can kind of zap their energy early and continue to do so, that's where the Pelicans want to live at, 10 to 15 points there.
You mentioned, I think the Pels are 1-6 this year in one-score games. They just have not been able to close out close games. It's like they're either blowing teams out or they're losing to the better teams in the league. So finding that balance, finding some way to swing that to the positive will be key. It's a good opportunity tonight. All right, let's talk about the trade deadline. So Thursday, 3 Eastern, 2 Central will be the trade deadline. Are the Pels more likely, or do you expect the Pels to be in any way active at the deadline?
Now, there are reports that they have been active. I won't say no. Now, I don't know if they're serious. And again, the word serious can be taken either way. I don't know how some people will. And David Griffin is a really good user of words. Like he'll put it out there to say, hey, we're doing this. But it may not come to fruition, which is okay. If there is a move, I expect it to be a very small move. You have Najee Marshall, which is an expiring contract. Maybe you could try to upgrade there. Also, you look at Jonas Valanciunas and his abilities and his expiring contract. The Pelicans probably ride this out, until the offseason. I mean, you have Brandon Ingram looming almost a $50 million contract, per year. Eventually, if he signs this offseason, or even Trey Murphy. So there's a lot of, talks, but I don't know how serious it looks. I don't know what they do in the coming days.
He's Jarrett Reed on Twitter at Conrad with a K. Conrad Reed 5. Yeah. Pro Pels Talk. Hey, what's up with that? So given name is Conrad, go by Jarrett?
Well, my middle name is Conrad. I pledged Kappa Alpha Psi when I was in college. The K kind of just rolled because the girls would call me Conrad, and it just stuck,
I don't blame you, man. It's hella confusing when you're trying to give out a Twitter handle on.
I know.
Jared.
Listen, I'm going to change it. I'm going to change it. I got you.
Jared, we appreciate it, man. Thanks for a couple of minutes.
Thank you. I appreciate it, guys.
Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please leave your comments. I love to interact. And be sure to hit the red subscribe button below.